Your lesson of the day today, when should you reverse your trade? So I'm not talking about get out of the trade, because I think we all understand. You get in, you have a stop, you have an idea when you're going to be wrong, so you jump out of it. That's kind of the easy part. But there are these situations, and I know everybody's had this before, where you look back, it's like, man, the moment I got out of that trade was like the perfect time to go in the other direction. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that was the spot. That was it. What am I missing out on? Like, should I have done it, but I was bullish on the stock and it was dying, or I was bearish on the stock and it was ripping? So obviously you're going to have an idea when you get into a trade of which direction you think it's going to go off of your entry point. And sometimes you're right and sometimes you're wrong. You've got to be very careful about reversing, and for obvious reasons. If you just got stopped out of a trade, I mean, in some level it means your read on the stock wasn't the best, or it's going against your plan of action, and you don't want to get caught up revenge trading, right? Like, a revenge trade is when you're simply upset at the loss that you just saw, and you look for the first available opportunity to just make it back. Like, I want to get that back right away. That's not how the market's going to work. The market doesn't care that you just took a hit. Stock doesn't care about your feelings. You guys know all about that. However, you're going to see these situations crop up where you look at something like an exit point. Like, if I'm buying, I bought a dip in PDD, 135 level. It turned out to be one of the few places that you could have even tried along and gotten away with it in the morning. But I look back at where my exits were. My first target out at 37 was a top. Like, think about this. It's like my first target out for the $2 ends up being the curl spot for the short. And then my out for a stop is almost like a flat bottom breakdown. And this is not, it's not like it happens once, one time. You're going to find this a lot of times. I have another example here on Mara. The level I like to short. Boom, the 20 short falls right down into, I had a support line dropped. When I get out, it does a curl. Once it gets back above it, that should have been a long. And then when it broke out this top, and I'm jumping out of the trade, wow, that was a spot to go long, and you could have easily reversed. The first thing you need in a situation like that, and we use this term a lot, so apologies to anyone that watches the morning show or the live show every single day, you want confluence to the trade. I find you don't want to look at that line in the sand and simply say, okay, well, my short was to this level, it's a long above that level. It's not that simple. So a few things need to line up. In the specific case with Mara, I think it was an easier case than Pinduo Duo. And I'm going to lay it out like this. With Mara, and why this was, and I didn't do it, so let's get this out of the way. I didn't go long. So I'm not sitting here telling you, hey, just do what I did, blah, 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 you're going to make money. No, I didn't do it. That's why it's a lesson. That you had obvious confluence by zooming out the chart. So the first part would be, well, did it do a reversal? Look at the dip and rip yesterday. Look at the move it put yesterday. It was a break of the low, rip up, break of the low, and then a reversal to break out in the afternoon to that 1925 area. So what did it do today? Rip, pull back, hold support around that same key level, and then rip back up. So it's actually showing you the same pattern as it was before. So that's confluence part one. Confluence part two was, if you look at what Bitcoin was doing, like IBIT at the open, am I overwhelmed by the amount of selling at the open? Not really, and then it puts in the bottom, and it's starting to trend back to the upside. So you've got Bitcoin doing a dip and rip. You've got Mara doing a dip and rip. You've got the same move happening yesterday that worked out if you reversed it off of that break of the top. So all of those reasons make it a spot that it's worth looking into for that flip. Now here's the downside for this. You've got to put that work in. One of the reasons I show up, 2 hours before the market opens, okay, fine, like almost 3 hours before the market opens, if I'm being honest, it's like 2 hours and 45 minutes before the market opens, is so you can go over as many of these things as you can. Because had I done a little bit more work in the pre-market on Mara, I probably could have come up with that plan. Hey, but by the way, if it breaks that out, let's zoom it out and start thinking about some contingencies and reverse that trade. But you got to put that work in. You can't be, oh, it's coming into my stop, I'm trying to get out, and then thinking about the reverse and trying to do all of that work, looking at the chart, looking for that confluence. You've got to already have put it in. This is what we mean about screen time. Get in there, look at your charts, do your prep work so you have these contingencies in mind. That said, if you miss that trade, it's not over. Why? Because if you ever get stopped out at a level that's a great reversal spot, you've done something right. And a lot of traders get ticked off. I almost said something else. They get ticked off when they make a top or a bottom wick. Me, I don't really freak out about it if you ever watch on the live show, because it's the cost of doing business, and on some level, it means you had the area of interest dead on. If you ever make a top or bottom wick, think about this for a second. The place where you decided to make a decision, where you needed to make a decision, was dead right. The only thing that was wrong was the execution. So if you ever make a top or bottom wick, sometimes it just means you need to give it a little bit more room. But if you stop out and it runs away from that price, it's telling you something about that price. Now look at Mara on the way back into this 20. Even if you don't reverse it here, and I was on the bid and missed it by 5 cents. I suck. And you saw in the live show, I was right here trying to grab it a little bit tighter to my imaginary line there, which you don't anchor yourself to a line like that. It's a mistake. You got to just try to grab it anywhere you can, 10s, 20s. But it dips right back into that previous level, and it gives you a chance for that long. And it's not like you couldn't have seen that coming. Look what happened. There's your top, there's your reversal spot. What happens when it dips back into that same price yesterday? The market likes to repeat itself. It's not always exactly the same, but sometimes it just flat out rhymes. And when it rhymes, you want to be involved. You think it's an isolated incident? Remember PDD? That breakdown? Okay, so it breaks down. You don't reverse that trade. Oh, look at what happens when it pulls back up. Fancy that. It pulls back up, and if you didn't reverse here, it shows you a consolidation underneath there. And that's the confluence you're looking for. With PDD, there was no level on the chart, so I don't think I would have ever reversed. But then it gives you that chance to say, hey, if I was wrong about it, let's own up to that and see if we can't jump back in at the level that we thought was significant. If you're wrong about the stock in the direction, it doesn't mean that the area of interest was dead wrong. If you were smart enough to get out at the key price that saved you some money, then maybe there was something good about that price area that if it comes back to it, you can use it to your advantage. Every single trade you make is a learning experience. Every day that you trade is a learning experience. And if you're either in the market to get better or not. And whether you win or lose, you can always find something that you can learn from. That's today's lesson of the day. You don't always want to reverse every single trade. That can lead to revenge trading. But if you can find that area of confluence where the decision price was perfect, and you might even have a pattern to back it up, then you can either reverse it there, or even better, flip the script and have that support turn into resistance and jump into it the other way. I had a couple of examples that today. I always hope, trading's a lonely enough business. I always hope that you can learn from others' mistakes because it saves you some money and hopefully makes you some money in the future. So that's your lesson of the day, when to reverse your trade. Go from long to short, short to long. Be careful when you do it. But sometimes you got that price dead on. You got out for a reason. So listen to yourself. Trust in your levels. Good luck, everyone.